Alright, so now we're going to take a look at this red file that we've got here. This nice long file name A002 underscore CO31. What does all that mean? Really, honestly, like what is important is, I mean, all of it makes sense. We got real number, we've got the file number, CO31, unique identifier, and some other stuff that I always forget what it means. But anyway, inside here we've got our R3D file. We've got some movie container files, which on a Mac you can take a look at the R3Ds. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to jump under programs, back into my Cineform file, unless you want me to pull up another PowerPoint, and I'm going to go down here. I'm going to do a couple of things. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do R2CF batch to 1K express files. I'm going to open this guy up, and what you can see is, like, you know, I'm not getting the scary command prompt. Let me show you what that looks like. Let's see, we've got R2CF. Here we go. Here we get our command prompt, and you can see we've got some we got some examples of what we're doing. Here's the actual call, R2CF. So we would type that in, and you just get you get a lot more control over it this way. I don't mess with the switches a whole lot, but essentially here's what we get. Example R2CF that calls up the exe file. Here's the media location for the R3D. Here's where we're gonna write it to with its file name. Right here I've got up on the Cineform tech blog. Here's R2CF, and you can see all the different switches that you can actually pull up. So you've got A, audio processing, on or off. You got a whole list here, and that's at techblog.cineform.com. You're definitely gonna care about this guy here, and in a lot of cases you're gonna care about the quality setting, the Q. So honestly, it's not gonna be very often that you're gonna want to use the actual interface here. It's only if you're gonna want to get into some custom stuff that that you're worrying about. These scripts up here do a great job. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a window here. I'm going to make it easy on myself. Go into footage here, raw footage, and we'll go right into the folder here. I am copying that out, and I'm going to paste it in. Let's take a look. So we got our folder path there, and I could set that up for it. Like if I've got a full red folder, typically, like if I've got a red mag, that's gonna give me a folder with a whole host of other folders like this guy here. Inside of it, I can just point it right to that red mag, or I can point it to a folder above that, wherever I've got all my red footage. I'm going to hit OK. Please enter the path to output. So we're going to back up here. Copy it. And I'm going to paste that in. I'm going to hit OK. And we've got the option to be able to pull in an EDL. If you've got a good solid rock solid EDL with your cut list in it, you can pull that up inside of here and only capture the the chunks of video that you really need for that. You don't have to convert everything inside of all those folders. So let's say if you got 100 red clips and you've got an EDL that's only using 12 of them, and of that, like, only certain portions of it, that EDL will help you help Cineform only encode the portions that it needs. So, but for us, we don't have one. We want to make sure this is blank. Hit OK. And then also, if we've got external audio and we're able to match that up, we can do that there. I don't recommend it though. I think there's better ways to handle that inside the editors themselves with whether you've got running time code, or whether you've got pluralize running or something. So we're gonna hit OK and check it out. We've got a total of 437 frames, and it's ripping these things off. As you can see here, it made a folder here called Express, and boom, it's done. We have an Express file from a red file that quick. And one of the interesting things that's happening though is the active metadata is actually showing up on this file because I've got similar ones in my database named the same. I should change the name. But let me show you real quick though while we've got active metadata up. Let me disable some of this stuff. What I'm doing is I'm right clicking on the little C there. I'm going in here and I'm turning this stuff off. Open that up again. See, now we've got a completely different looking image. This is the raw image, nice and clean. Alright, I'm going to go back in here to Cineform, Tools, and I'm going to go back down to Scripts. And now, let's say I want to kick out Batch to Raw at the source resolution. A lot of times, like, I'll actually pick 1920 by 1080 HD 444, or I'll write into this is a very fast conversion here for an offline, and you're working with a full 1080p image. These two have pretty good playback properties as well. You start getting into RAW at 4K and your computer might start to slow down, but let's mess with it. So footage, raw footage, same thing. Copy that, hit OK. It's gonna want a directory. Just gonna type that in. Cineform. Right. Okay. Clear our EDL. Okay. Audio is blank. Okay. And it's gonna start to write. Now, this one is going to really crush my computer, especially with Camtasia running probably. My fans are starting to pick up on there. It's still pretty fast. You can see it spitting off frames there at a relatively fast pace. So while that's happening though, I'm going to go ahead. You guys don't want to sit through all this. So we'll pick up as soon as it's done. Alright, so our encode just finished a couple minutes later. And now I've got this folder called raw kicked out as well. And what you can see down here, it's a 633 meg file, which isn't bad, especially considering that our frame width is 4096 and our height is 2304. So it's a big, massive 4K file. That's playing back right now. Nice and smooth. That's a raw file, which means all the color information above and below what we can see is there, including this this boom pole wire. See how much more you can see in 4K? Let me open it up here real quick in QuickTime though, just to give you an idea, because QuickTime will open it at 4K. So here we are, 100% 4K, and I can get on my 1080 monitor here I can get not even a quarter of it. I've got double monitors and it's running. Hold on, let's pull it across here so you can see what's still going. And there's the end. Alright, so I've got that file. Let me open it up here again real quick. And like I was saying, all that color information is going to end up sticking on this guy. Active metadata, you're not going to have that. But let's see here. What I'm doing is I'm turning back on all my looks. There we go. Let's open it back up. Let's see. And that active metadata is back on the file. So like I said, the reason is like that I've got a database that's got this file name already in it, and Cineform knows about it, so it'll automatically apply it, which is really nice. It's going to be, you'll find it really nice if you're kicking out, say, Express files, and then also, these raw files, which would be, for online. So right there, I've got, I just off of a red workflow, I can stay Cineform, I can stay in AVI, AVI or QuickTime mode, and not have to deal with the raw R3Ds if I don't want to. And I've got the raw, I've got a online, offline right there. Offline, online, wax on, wax off. So there we go. We just went through a little bit of like how you want to handle your red footage, quick ways to convert it, the different file sizes. I definitely encourage you to play around and test it and see what you're kicking out. See what your computer's able to handle too. It might be able to just play back like the smaller Express files, but more than likely you'll totally be able to handle 1080 422 files or even 1080 444 files. They're not bad. The raw files definitely, inside of CS5 tend to slow down a little bit. So you've got to handle those a little bit differently. Let's stop there and we'll move on here and start taking a look at what we're going to do inside of Premiere. So now that we're moving that way, let's get into it.